What is up, gamers? Stackswell's back at it again today with another market watch. Spoiler season has this market going crazy. This market don't know how to act with all these hype spoilers coming out. These mechanologist cards are going kind of crazy, and we have some other cards I want to talk about as well that maybe aren't directly mechanologist related, but are affected. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. I don't want to waste any more time. Pulsewave Harpoon is nearly a $20 card now. There was a lot of speculation on whether or not these new heroes would be boosting at all, and it turns out they very much are. At least a few of them are, or at least a couple of them are. Maybe not Teklovasin, but the other two seem to be going in that direction. Cheapest non-foil on the market, yeah, is about $20 now, $19.50. Cheapest rainbow on the market is $25. Magnetic Shockwave. And you know what, actually, before we move on from Pulsewave, I actually still think it's a good pickup. This is a necessary card in 3 heroes, right? Dash, IO, and Max. If it's a staple in 3 different heroes that are all boosting, and it's like such a powerful Majestic staple, it's almost at the level of Codex, right? So this is maybe even still a bit undervalued. And Majestics that come from a supplemental set like Dynasty, like Everfest, those tend to spike harder than ones from draftable sets like Outsiders and Codex. So I actually think that this has a lot of room to go up, and I don't think it's too late to get in on this card. I think when the cards actually drop, when the set actually drops, and people start picking up cards, I don't necessarily think that this will go down. I actually think it will go up. Magnetic Shockwave, this one wasn't reprinted in white border, that's why it's so expensive. Majestic from Crew. Crew is a very underprinted set, so that's why it's $25. Not necessarily like the best card or the most necessary card or anything like that, just a few limiting factors are the reason why it's so expensive. If you're a new player looking to get into Mechanologist, this would be like the last thing on the list to pick up, but it is on the list. I do think it's a fine card. It's good in the blue slot in that it could just like surprise your opponent and win you the game, but yeah, definitely not necessary. Starstruck, not a lot of people are looking at this, but it is going up a little bit. It's creeping up here. It's at like $16 for the cheapest non-foil, and the cheapest rainbow foil is about $20. I think that this card's kind of flying under the radar. Maybe people aren't fully thinking of counterplay and stuff like that. Like Teklovasin makes this new hero that is also an equipment, so you could buckling blow and destroy the new Teklovasin demi hero, and when you do that, Teklovasin loses the game. So there could be some playability in Bravo. Bravo's also very good at fatiguing, so against like Dash and Max Nitro, they're trying to boost and fatigue you, or trying to boost and aggro you down. So if you block them out, they're pretty fatiguable due to how much they're boosting. Bravo could definitely be a viable deck moving into this next format, and Starstruck is a necessary staple in that deck. Probably the best card in the deck, unironically. I like it more than like Crippling and Seismic, or Crippling and Spinal, I should say. So I again think that this is a fine pickup. Majestic from a supplemental set, I think it's fine. I don't think this card is too high. I think there's still room for it to go up. Invoke Chroma is $50. I guess this is because the new Ash that we got, that is a Chroma Ash. I don't think that card is particularly good, but Dromai players have surprised me in the past. Maybe they're seeing something I'm not. There's only 2 left on the market, and they're both $50. If you're looking to get your Marvel Invoke Chromais, I would definitely wait, let the market replenish a little bit. This was probably just a few people that got overly excited about that new Ash. Construct Nitro Mechoid, cheapest cold foil on the market is $43. Then it instantly jumps to $55. So there's only one for $43. So realistically, it's closer to the $55 range. Cheapest rainbow foil on the market is about $35, and then it jumps to $40 quite quickly. Just kind of want to bring you guys' attention to let you know what's going on with Nitro Mechoid here. Teklo Foundry Heart, cheapest on the market is $115. Big drop just a couple days ago. It was selling for $140. This is because it got announced for a reprint, so maybe the bag holders of Teklo Foundry Heart are trying to get rid of them now that they know it's going to be reprinted. I think it was a fantastic reprint for how necessary this card is in the Mechanologist class. I like that you could just buy this new set, Bright Lights, and just make a deck almost entirely out of what's in there and not be missing out too much, really. Warmonger's Diplomacy is at about $33 for the cheapest copy on the market. That is not bad. That's coming down a little bit here. Maybe people aren't paying so much attention to it with all this Mechanologist hype going on. Fandal Spring Tunic, cheapest rainbow full on the market, is $58. Tunic reprint is coming. So people are maybe dropping their tunics and hoping to pick one up for real cheap when the new tunics come out. I do want to say we've seen reprints in the past, like Crown of Providence, long term drop a card's price. I think something like that will probably happen with this, but we've also seen reprints not affect the card prices at all. I remember, I'm a little bit of a fab boomer, I guess, showing my fab age here. When the first history pack came out and all the cards got reprinted white border, I thought everything was going to drop, so I didn't want to buy anything. I was like, oh, Tunic's getting reprinted, E-Strike's getting reprinted, I don't want to buy anything. And then a history pack came out, ton of history pack cards hit TCG Player, hit the market, and the prices of the black borders didn't move. And then the white borders became the same price as the black borders. So, the lesson I'm taking from that is just because the card's getting reprinted doesn't necessarily mean it's going to fall that much. Example, history pack. I actually do think this one is probably going to stabilize around this price point, though. I'm just saying, just because there's a reprint, don't take that as as the end all be all for the price of the card. Flick Knives is only $20. This is falling a lot because of the new Claw card. It's a legendary assassin arm piece that's coming out in the new sets. I just thought it was kind of interesting to look at this card's price point. Cheapest cold foil is $50. I do think that the new arms is better than this one, but there's a non-zero chance that this one gets played. I just kind of want to bring it to your guys' attention. If I had extra copies right now, I'd probably be looking to get rid of them, just because that new arm piece is so good. Black Tech Whispers, a couple new assassin cards, including that arm piece we just talked about, got expansion slots in this new set. I think that those two cards alone really do buff the power of Uzuri quite significantly, and the price is reflecting that. This card was like $45 for the longest, and now it's $55. Cheapest cold foil on the market. There's one for $90, and then they immediately go to $95, which is again a step up. They were $80 for the longest time, so seeing this card creep up a little bit is nice. Plasma Mainline, this card in cold foil is almost disappeared from the market. There's only 5 up here, one for 30, and then they jump up to 40 quite quickly. Unless someone is seeing something I don't, please let me know in the comments below if you do. I don't see this card. I don't think it's it. I don't think this card is the wave or anything like that. I think there might be a couple of very niche applications for it, but I don't think it's worth that price tag. Again, let me know in the comments down below if you guys know something I don't. Powdercake, cheapest cold foil for this one on the market is $15. Then it quickly jumps to $20. This card, I know a lot of people don't know what it does, so whenever a mechanologist gun you control hits, you may destroy Powdercake and a defending equipment. There is some world where your opponent's blocking with like their Teklo Foundry Heart, and then you dash IO and instant this in and like kind of get them and destroy their Foundry Heart or their Flamescale Furnace or something like that. Really only working at instant speed, I think. This card is pretty weak in the other hero, so only dash IO is going to be able to play this, and it's so situational in that you need a gun to hit specifically. I don't think this card is the wave either. Again, let me know if there's some other interaction that I'm not seeing outside of just the dash IO one. So I would wait on this, and I would wait on Plasma Mainline, wait for them to replenish on the market, and then I would go to pick them up. Hyperdriver, this one is at $35 for the cheapest cold foil, and then it instantly jumps to $40. And there's only like what, 1, 2, 3, 5 on the market. So that's the red one. The blue or the yellow one, there's only 4 on the market, and the blue one, there's only 6 on the market. So this card's like almost non-existent. I think people are just kind of bag holding it. I'm also not entirely convinced that all these are going to be played, like the yellow and the blue. I'm not sure how much this is going to be played, considering Max Nitro makes these things for free. They'll probably be played in a non-zero amount, but probably lean towards the reds. I would just definitely wait. Like, I don't have any of this and I kind of want to play it. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to let the market replenish a little bit here. I'm going to let the meta settle. I'm going to figure out if I actually need this card, and then I'll look to pick it up. I don't think there's much room to go up for a cold foil common here. I think this is kind of crazy prices. I also want to talk about round the table singles. The only place I've seen selling them is flukinbox.com. So being able to buy singles from this is obviously very good. If you're just a Guardian player looking to get a couple quick staples, it's definitely worth it, right? If you just want a couple boulder drops and a Civic Steps, it's going to run you like $6, $7, $8, something like that. I think it's a very reasonable price, $2 for these cards. You know, when we think about cards like, was it Glistening Steel Blade or yeah, it's Glistening Steel Blade from the Rhinar vs. Dorinthia. Cards like, what, $30? It's almost worth as much as the entire sealed product is. They did a lot better on this one, on Round the Table, because there's more than just one good card in here, right? There's more than just one card we want. But there's a lot of like insane steals. Another thing to mention too is with cards like Bittering Thorns, right? If you buy the sealed product, you'll get, what is it, 2 Bittering Thorns? But you need 3 for a playset in CC, right? So maybe you just buy 1 sealed product, and then you buy 1 Bittering Thorns extra, just to like round out your collection, complete your playsets. Everything here is pretty reasonably priced. I think Mauling Quee, there's only 1 in the deck. That's why it's $4. Coax a Commotion, I think again there's only 1 in the deck. That's why it's $3. I think this reprint though is actually going to destroy Coax's price. I think this is overpriced. I could see this card being like 25 cents, 10 cents at some point. So don't pick up Coax. But nearly everything else here I think is actually a really fantastic deal. Even the mat for $17. Yeah, everything here is quite the pickup. That's all I got for you guys today. Shout out Fluke and Box. Don't forget to like, comment, rate, subscribe, and help the algorithm help me out just a little bit. Thank you so much. Later, gamers.